Various fintech names have been aggressive in crypto. Names like PayPal and Square have really taken to adopt the cryptocurrency and also allowed a bit of an overlay on investing in crypto markets, not directly for their investors. For instance, Square invested $220 million of its cash, or 5% of the cash it had at the time, into Bitcoin in 2020, and it's also worth more than twice that now. How are these players like Square and PayPal shaping the market for crypto?
I think it's sort of like what JP said. They're being shaped by the market, and that's the demand of a younger cohort for access to these kinds of investments. Look, JP Morgan and Goldman, they had to capitulate, and they're fighting, right? Most of their traditional wealth management clients are are older and near retirement stage. And so they're fighting for customers in this new, younger demographic. And they're fighting against firms like PayPal and other fintech startups who are able to move a little bit more quickly into these new, assets and categories. And so, yeah, I think this is, in many ways, it's the tail wagging the dog, right? Investors want it, and there's a lot of money to be made giving investors what they want. So people are going to chase those returns. Doesn't mean that they're good deals, right? I mean, look, every major investment bank, I remember when I was on Wall Street during the tech bubble, every major investment bank got in on the tech bubble. Didn't mean those were smart investments. It means there's a lot of money to be made selling and providing transaction services around those investments. So popularity is not necessarily a sign of value. Neither is the growth and proliferation of a particular product. It's really more a sign of how much those folks can make money selling it. So I would suggest that, again, retail investors be discerning about where they put their money. And I think as has been echoed around the table here, volatility is a feature, and I think it's a feature that most of the investors in crypto are comfortable with. They may even like it because they're into trading and not investing, which means really we're talking about a speculative asset. And inherent in any sort of speculation is a lot of risk, and that's what you just gotta wake up every day knowing if you want to play in this on this field.
Now, if I may add to that, I think one of the big things that he just mentioned was demographic demand, which I think is huge here, because you have a demographic, a cohort of people that are used to operating digitally and are demanding it. So you're seeing companies at the forefront of this transformation adopt cryptocurrencies in their business and make that accessible. And just to talk a little bit back about Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs making Bitcoin funds available to their constituency, I think that's also reflective of the fact of where the evolution of Bitcoin has come. Years ago, there wasn't a custody solution for that, so it was really hard for Bitcoin funds to operate in the traditional finance world. But a lot of that is being solved by companies like Coinbase, Gemini, and even Fidelity now offers institutional custodial services, which makes it easier for traditional finance to offer funds to clients now.
The easier they make it, the better. The more likely people are going to feel comfortable to step in. I think Robinhood is also taking a big lead there as well, right?
The more stores that have it on the shelf, the more they can sell.
I agree that.
If you listen to these earnings calls, the banks realize that they kind of dropped the ball on fintech, right? Like the Squares and the Venmos and these other companies, they came up and all of a sudden they realized, look, we got to invest, tens of billions of dollars into fintech, forget the physical branches. So there certainly is, I could imagine some of that pressure, like, look, you dropped the ball on fintech, don't drop the ball on cryptocurrency. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But I would have to believe that, some of it is just a fear that happens again. And in terms of, and I kind of think it works both ways in terms of adoption of something like Bitcoin. Like for me, I was looking at it, but it wasn't until PayPal said that they were going to start accepting, Bitcoin through Venmo, buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin, that I realized, wait a second, this is kind of the key to adoption. So I think it goes both ways, sort of. PayPal realized that they have to start offering, an ability for their customers to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin, but at the same time, offering that ability pulls more people into the ecosystem because you have millions of people with Venmo who don't know anything about Bitcoin, and all of a sudden they get the ability to to buy it. They're hearing about it on TV. They throw a little bit on there. So I do think it goes both ways. Both of them kind of played it. You know, it kind of plays to the network effect in that way.